All right, we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm here with Sandy and Jeff. We're already sorry we're late. We're a little late today, so let's get this all started then. All right, hold on 2 seconds. Everybody say hi.
Hi. Hi, 3 people in the chat that I can't see yet.
All right, let's see what we got.
We have a lot to go through, so just keep your time schedule
Yeah,
in
if
mind so
we
you can do
have
the
time,
new
I
ones.
know we'll do what we can.
Just pick a few, and then when you know you're running out of time, get to the new ones. That's all.
All right. All right, here we go.
I hope everybody's having a good time tonight. It's almost Friday for those of you that are lucky enough to work. Hi, is it Jenna or Gina? Hi, DD74. I hate pronouncing people's names wrong. I feel bad.
All right, can you see this?
I can.
Can. Okay, good.
Hi, News
Go ahead,
Guru,
read.
and
Yeah,
welcome, Gina. Oh, you want me to read this one?
sure.
Okay. An old Mandela Effect was the name of the symbol. Many remember yin yang, but it's always been yin yang. But Brian has another question to ask you. Credit Brian McFarlane and myself, different stuff, but for the same thing. And Noise Guru, I have not had a chance to check my email yet. I'm so sorry. It's been nonstop work. I have like 4 shows this weekend. Okay, so which direction do you guys recall the symbol being positioned? Like if you were to think of this symbol in your head, how do you see it? 1, red, which is diagonal. 2, yellow is up and down or vertical. And 3, blue is horizontal. And 4 is all of the above. What do you remember?
Definitely the yellow one.
Yellow one for you? Jeff, I forget what you said originally. What do you remember?
I said I had no memory of this.
Okay.
Okay.
And Preliminal remembers too. Hey, Preliminal. Gina is also 2. I am going to be totally alone on this.
What's yours?
Huh?
All right, I'll just get going here then.
Okay. Okay, so I remember it red, and it has always been yellow. Oh, Noise Guru remembers it like I do, I think. Or are you just pretending? I'm kidding. It's sat slightly diagonally in my past. Brian remembers yellow, but that is not entirely correct either. Everyone's wrong. And
Wow.
right.
Yeah, the yellow one really stands out in my memory.
We're all right.
Oh my God.
The answer is 4, all of the above.
Okay, I've never seen the other one.
Yeah. But not red. Red is not, it's either up and down, vertical or horizontal. It's never diagonal. So really it's not number 4. The one I remember does not exist. But hey, at least you guys got yours. But it was definitely had a little diagonal, not super diagonal, but a little off center from vertical. That's how I remember it. DD74 is 2 as well. And so is Mandanimal. It's not on my screen yet, Curious, so that's what I'm waiting for.
Okay.
Okay, question 2. The black white have several meanings. One of them being male and female. Which do you remember being female, black or white? In the chat, was female black or white? Curious
Oh
or
my God,
Jeff?
I don't remember that one.
It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know anything about any of this particular one. Except the yin yang is what I remember.
Noise Guru says white. Preliminal says black, I think.
Yeah,
I
I
can't read
would.
'cause that's stupid hard. Gina says yin, not yin for me. I don't know male, female colors. Mandela says I thought many positions. I'm not saying that. I mean acceptable. Any positions were acceptable. It is that it's except the positions are vertical or horizontal, not diagonal. And Mandanimal's saying white female.
Okay.
We can go on. So here's some residue of yin yang, which most of us remember. Female is now black, negative, night, passive, moon, intuitive, cold, soft. So female's always been black, but I remember female being white.
Yeah, I think I remember that too. That's weird. Oh. Right.
Mandanimal is the current memory of yin yang. I have also never known it should say ratio, not ration. Ratio could change. Did you? So that you can have too much yin, too much yang, or be balanced. And depending on your age, your yin and yang are a different ratio. I've never heard of this. Have you guys? Just yes or no in the chat. I've never seen it drawn like that at all, ever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's weird. That's really weird. I don't know what kind of sense that makes, but alright. Let's go.
And animals is always balanced in the symbol. Question 3. Have you ever seen a version with 3 or more partitions, a triad or more? So right now you're looking at 2 partitions. Have you ever seen 3 partitions before or more? Yes or no?
No.
Mandanimal says balance was the whole point. Exactly. I agree with that. Hey, John Nada. It's okay if you can't chat. We just appreciate you being here. Mandanimal says no. Noise Guru says yes. Look at this craziness, Curiouser. It's about to get crazy. Just wait. I'm going to stop here and give a disclaimer that from this point on, this may not be a Mandela Effect. It may just be a part of Taoism that I did not know. I'm hoping that someone more educated in the subject can help us determine if this is a Mandela Effect or not.
Yeah.
Noise. Oh, wait. I already read that. I already read yes and no. There we go. Let me switch. I hate this. I hate that it defaults to top messages, not all messages. Brian also found it interesting that quantum particles look just like a yin-yang. Isn't that weird? First, I'd like to introduce you to the yin-yang yang. This term is only 22 years old, coined by a CEO. It is used for business purposes only and not related to Taoism. He thought he was being clever, I guess, and missed the fact that this was not new. So here is a 3-partition symbol that a businessman made. However, when it gets on my screen, the Taoism version, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right too, is called the Yin Yang Yuan and nicknamed the Wheel of Enjoyment. From BeatHoliday.com, it symbolizes the trinity of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the 3 jewels, and overcoming the 3 poisons: ignorance, desire, and aversion. And keep in mind I said Dharma there, because that's going to come up again. Right now, actually. Dharma. Now I know why these images made me think of the Dharma Initiative in Lost. Like I said, I literally know nothing about Taoism. Have you ever seen or heard of either the Zhang or Wan triad version of the Yin Yang? I've never heard of either. I've never seen it before.
That's pretty.
It is. Reminds me of those stickers, the oil stickers.
Yeah.
Well, I do not know if the Yin Yang Yuan is a Mandela or not for sure. I can say that I've never seen it or the business Yin Yang Zhang before, but they aren't the only variations I'm seeing.
Must be shell. I've never seen it that colorful. Oh, maybe I should know it.
Yeah, it's probably dyed oyster shell. Oh, it's abalone, says Noise Guru.
Abalone, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, abalone. It's very colorful. Maybe that's the Mandela Effect. I know they've always been colorful, but that's just a lot. All right.
Well, look at this nuttiness. These could be just artistic interpretation, but I'm also finding up to 7 partitions in the design. Just wanted to share these in case they are official, which would absolutely make this a Mandela for me if it was.
Mm-hmm. No, I've never seen this.
And here's some current reality stuff, yin yang yang, yin yang with the 4 partitions, female on the black side. I hate this delay. They need to fix it. I don't understand why there's such a big delay. So here's more partitions or triads. And here's some residue of the diagonal that I remember that no longer exists.
Yeah.
Officially. No longer officially exists. You okay?
All right. All right. All right. let's see.
One of you can go.
Okay, Jeff, you want to read?
Yeah. Credit Jeff Zanzibar. Beastie Boys song is different from our memory, and we are curious to know what you remember. Please fill in the blank. No sleep. It's Till Brooklyn, but how do you spell Till?
Til.
Mm-hmm.
Any answers?
Not yet. Mandanimal says no clue. Pastor Muppet says Till with two L's. Noise Guru says Till with one L. DD74 says Till with two L's.
Pastor Muppets, are you still having issues with our channel? Channels, I should say.
We remember No Sleep Till Brooklyn with one L, but it's with two
Yeah.
L's now. Do you remember two L's?
Yeah, just one for me.
Me too.
Oh,
I
that
was
looks really
shocked when
funny.
I saw this.
Yeah, that looks really funny with
Mm-hmm.
the two L's. Mm-hmm.
I need to ask the people who remember two L's. Is till, besides a cash register, is till just a word by itself for you? I'm asking genuinely, because for me, till
Until.
was
Til.
always short for until.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No sleep until Brooklyn.
Right.
So it would only be TIL. But you're from the reality where it's two L's, so I'm asking, is it a separate word for you?
Should never be two L's. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this apostrophe and all.
Hi, Ramsey.
Gina says Till or Till, one L with apostrophe on the first Till.
Yeah.
Till for preliminal. Pastor Muppets now says I agree. Till with one L.
All right, so it's up to DD74. Noise Guru says, today I learned.
Here's the residue and the Volkswagen residue as well. Plenty of residue there.
Yeah.
Where's the whistling coming from? That's creepy.
Whistling. There's an airplane here. I don't know.
Oh, that was an airplane. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We covered the word till, like probably 3 years ago, but but Jeff we didn't have this song covered. But you're not the first person to say I thought this was covered by you guys a year ago. You're not. Esther says it all the time on our show. We'll be showing something. She'll say, I swear you guys covered this before.
No.
So it wouldn't be a first. Oh, the weird one with the umlauts, that is a foreign album. I believe it's German, and that's why they added them. You've missed a lot, so pick whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. All right, I guess I'll read. My turn. Okay. There are even more clouds on this earth than we need to discuss. Both involve rotation. Not too long ago, I covered tornado coverage having a new warning type, a tornado emergency. Teresa shared a screenshot of her local news talking about Hurricane Hillary, which showed the distinction between a flash flood warning and an emergency. Upon researching a flash flood emergency, I found that the terminology goes back at least 14 years to 2009. We should have heard of this by now, but hadn't until today. Have you heard of this before? No.
Yeah, I've never heard of a flash flood emergency.
Yeah, they changed all the emergency.
I'm not surprised they're changing it across the board.
Yeah, it was just a warning before, now it's an emergency. Going back to tornadoes, yes or no, have you ever heard of a cold air funnel? No. Cold air funnel forms when the air on the ground is much warmer than the air in the clouds. The strangest thing about them is they rarely even touch down or cause damage. Unlike beaver-tailed clouds that look like tornadoes but have no rotation, cold air funnels look like tornadoes, have rotation but never touch down. The cold air tunnel does touch down. It rarely ever causes damage and is then called a tornado instead of a CAF. Some sources say these funnel clouds are similar to landspouts, while other sources say they are landspouts if they touch the ground. Either way, I have never heard of a cold air funnel before. Have you? No.
Yeah, I've never heard them say. And that's the thing, they don't care. They don't care. They're like, oh, there's going to be some cold air funnels today, don't worry.
Mm-hmm. Imagine it, how many times you've seen these, like looking up the sky and you see it, or at least the startings of a cold air funnel. Never knew what to call it.
Well, that's the thing. It did have a name. It had a name. It was called a beaver tail.
Oh, okay.
And now they're saying it's a cold air funnel. Which is it?
Wow. All right. So another cloud I have discovered in 2020 was the double helix cloud. These clouds stand vertically, but do not rotate. Just float like a regular cloud. Oh my God. But now there are horizontal versions that do rotate. These are called rotator clouds and are usually found near mountain ranges and lenticular clouds. Have you ever heard of or seen these before? No. Just like lenticular clouds, they are rare, but somehow everyone is seeing them and taking pictures when they do see them.
What's PDS? I don't know what PDS is.
Here is a video of thicker versions rotating like a corkscrew, which is this cloud's nickname, a corkscrew cloud.
So they're just rolling along in the sky. And this is what makes them different from morning glory clouds, the roll clouds like in Australia. They don't roll. They just look like a roll. These actually roll as they move.
Mm-hmm. Are any of these weather terminologies new for you? They are 100% new for me, despite them being used for years. Let us know what you remember in the comments below.
Ah, the potentially dangerous situation. Yeah, I've never heard that one either before. Yes, PDS.
I've
Pony
never heard
gods and
any of these.
slippers. Yeah, I know. And like I said, if these were new terms, they would just be new terms, but the stuff goes back years, decades. I mean, we had flooding so bad 2 years ago that there's a major highway in Philadelphia that goes like not below ground. It's lower than ground level, but it's open. It has bridges going across it, of like the streets in Center City, and water filled that up, and people were canoeing. Like it was like 12 to 13 feet of water. I would call that a flooding emergency. The whole road was underwater, but they didn't call it a flooding emergency. It was just a flood warning.
All right, Jeff, you're up.
Credit Jeff Zanzibar. Recently, a DA in Georgia has been in the spotlight due to her lawsuit against President Donald Trump. Please spell her first name. How do you remember seeing it on TV or social media? We will say her name to help. How do you spell Fannie Willis?
Noise Guru says Fanni. I think Curiouser walked away.
No more answers yet. The name given to you when you are a complete ass. So let's get some more answers.
Right again, he said, Bruce Willis, deja vu. It's okay, Ryan Gownie. It's probably best that you don't.
Yeah. Wish I didn't.
Mandanimal says generally it's Fanny.
Right.
Hey, look up, wake up. Fannie Willis. She's the DA who brought the most recent charges against Donald Trump.
All right, moving along.
Yep. So I remember seeing her name over and over as Fanny, Fanny. But her name has always been spelled Fani. Do you remember her name spelled this way? We also have residue of Fanny, IE, for anyone who remembers that spelling.
I didn't get Fanni though. I think I looked for it and couldn't find it.
And sometimes it's spelled Butt.
I can't say how it's spelled in England. Might even be all of Great Britain, I'm not sure. But I know in England. And Look Up Wake Up says, I remember Fanny.
Yeah, that's what I remember seeing over and over again until a couple of weeks ago.
I'm not reading that, Noise Guru. Even though it's a character, I'm not reading it.
Even though we're all thinking it.
For the Bond fans, yep. I mean, it is kind of crazy that we still call it that. Knowing that, I mean, it would be like if in England they had a backpack that they called the insert any male body part bag. You know what I'm saying? Why would they do that? You know, change the name. I'm calling for it. They need to change the name.
Okay, moving right along here. Oh, we didn't go in order. I guess like Jeff
It's
went out.
okay.
Sandy, it's going to be your turn.
It's all right. It's all good.
No big deal. All right, Sandy, you read and then I'll read it.
Okay. I have no idea what to call it. All I know is that how about a hip pack? It sits around your middle near the hip level, or a belly pack, or something that's accurate to what it does. All right, there is something growing in freshwater lakes and streams that never existed in my past, and I'm curious to know if you have ever heard of these living fossils, which has been determined by everyone is an oxymoron? Have you ever seen a bryozoan before? Have you ever heard of these? Curiouser, have you ever seen a bryozoan before?
No.
Pastor Muppet says no. Noise, that's not nice. Look Up Wake Up says, can I join the stream? And Noise Guru says, yes, Look Up, just press Control Alt Delete. Oh my god, that was funny, but don't do that. Don't do that. Let's see. And Animal says no. PD74 says no. These gelatinous blobs are multiple living organisms living as a colony together. As the colony grows, the blob grows. I bet you do, but you never know. I have friends, even Joey. Joey is not very tech savvy here. He can get around the computer, but there's some things he needs help with. So I assume that everyone knows nothing when it comes to computers. Okay, but sometimes they spread out in a pattern or make a thin blob. There are so many species, colors, and shapes bryozoan can take depending on their habitat. They can be in freshwater or saltwater, but we're specifically talking about the freshwater ones right now. Some article titles, they're alive. Are these brain-like blobs growing in a pond near you? There are currently 5,000 species. Less than 90 have been identified in freshwater environments, and only 20 freshwater species in North America so far. But they grow in lakes in my area, and I grew up with a lake in my backyard, and have never heard of them, much less seen them before. You guys have already told me, have you? So the blob in your backyard, bryozoans in backyard ponds, the bryozoan mystery, a new look at an old fossil reveals the origin of these tiny coral-like creatures. Coral-like creatures growing in fresh water. Delaware's most famous freshwater bryozoan.
Wow, look at those. Boy, they're not too pretty, are they?
No, some of it reminds me of stuff out of a horror movie, or like the eggs
Yeah.
that the gremlins come out of.
Yeah.
That is a microscopic image of the bryozoan. Exactly, DD74. Self-aware pond scum. I'm with Preliminal. Alien blobs that never existed and now they do. At least not in my
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, you should be.
Oh, what is that? A leopard?
Yeah, I know. Some of them have patterns, depending on how big the
Oh
bryozoan
no.
is.
Oh my god. Where? I think it's maybe pods. From that movie.
It could be that too. Yep.
Forgot the name.
crazy. And these are some of the thinner ones that spread out. It's crazy.
Coming to a horror movie near you.
Yeah, seriously. Especially the thin ones. The thin ones are more horrifying to me because
Yeah,
they're spreading out onto dry land.
they could be alien globs. I agree with Subliminal.
Sorry, I'm having allergy problems in my throat.
That's not good.
Oh, okay, I'll read this. All right, we've covered gemstones in the past, but tonight I need to ask you about the metal around the stones in jewelry and watches. Open-ended question this time. Please name the colors of gold that you are aware of.
Curiouser?
Huh?
Are you
Any
waiting for
answers?
answers? Oh, you're waiting for answers.
Yeah.
I don't see any.
All right, we'll just move along. In my past, there was only yellow, white, and rose gold. I also heard from the term black gold, but that was always in reference to crude oil. Yeah, I'm with you on that, except I don't really remember uh, yellow and rose. I remember just white and regular gold,
Oh,
but
shoot.
I could see where those are. Okay. All gold used in jewelry is in alloy mixed with other metals to give the gold stability. Without it, the gold jewelry would become warped, scratched, even chipped because the metal is too soft. In recent decades, fine jewelers have experimented with new alloys to create 24 and 14 karat gold in outrageous colors, which I have never seen before. Is it a Mandela? I'm not sure, but I can tell you these have never been sold, I can tell you these have been sold for years, and I've never seen anything like this before. Let's see, both Sajar, me, Jose, and I saw the same short on the same day that teaches about how purple gold is made. This is what led me to discover gold comes in all these colors now. Red gold, pink gold, pinker than rose gold, green gold. It's amazing how vibrant these colors are. They really stand out. Blue and turquoise gold,
I'm sorry, I'm
purple
back.
and purple and lilac gold, black and gray gold.
And these are all fine jewelers. Their prices are like $2,000 to $6,000. These are not cheap by any stretch of the imagination.
But still, we should have heard of it.
Yeah, we should have heard of it. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. I mean, there's a
blue
watch for
gold.
34,000.
Yeah, if somebody's wearing one of these, I never would have guessed gold. No.
You can look it up. There is a chart that tells you what they, because all golds are alloys. And I did look it up. It's confusing. Depending on the source, the percentage of actual pure gold is different. Some say 99%, others say 97%. Another one gave a chart of like 99.99999999999. It's all 99% or 100%. So you can get pure gold, but it's going to be very soft. It can scratch, chip, bend easily compared to an alloy. So most gold jewelry on the cheaper end is like, not 24 karat gold, like 14 karat gold, 10 karat gold. They're all alloys. And that's why these are all 10 and 14 karat gold. You're not going to find 24 karat blue gold. It's all going to be 14 or 10 karat blue gold. But this is all the stuff you can mix with it: copper, manganese, silver.
All right, what do you think? Mandela Effect, where gold can now be every color of the rainbow, or just new information we happen to stumble upon? I call it an ME.
I'm calling it an ME too.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's stupid.
Because they've been making
Never
alloys
heard of.
for centuries. They never thought to try to mix it with a little bit of cobalt,
Right.
Right. Okay.
I know. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, Jeff, maybe you can read it.
Credit Jeff Zanzibar and Sandy. Sometimes Mandela effects present as things that never existed in our past. This one is exactly that. Foods we have never seen before.
And I have to say, guys, unfortunately, if you want to hear this, because Curiouser, for some reason, it doesn't play the sound. If you want to hear the commercials, you're going to have to go watch either Brian Staveley. Oh, no, we didn't show it on Brian Staveley. You're going to have to go to my channel or Brian McFarland's channel to hear the commercial, or you can go to my Flickr account and you can look at this and listen to the commercial. Sorry, go on, Jeff.
While searching for Jeff's find, I came across a couple other products. Not all food, but a couple food related. I want to ask you about those first. Does anyone remember Campbell's selling crayons, an art set, alphabet game, and alphabet dice game? I grew up 10 minutes from the factory and never knew anyone who had these.
No. Man. Oh my God.
And I just want to let people know you can still get some. I don't know which one it is. I think it's the dice game. You can still get it on Amazon today.
Never
I
seen
mean,
these before.
and I know companies have like merch and stuff, but it's just the proximity.
No.
My uncle worked there. He lived with us while I was growing up, and the factory was 10 minutes away. I don't understand how I've never seen this stuff before. We used to have so much Campbell stuff. We even had dolls of the Campbell Soup kids. He used to bring us stuff home all the time. Like at least the crayons or like the art stuff, because I've always been I've always loved art stuff. My dad would have loved the trading cards. Anyway, go ahead, Jeff.
Or these Campbell's soup trading cards. I just find it a little strange that a company that was sponsoring nearly everything in my childhood has products like these that I never knew about. My uncle who lived with us worked there for 20 plus years too.
For example, you go to a Phillies game at the vet, and the Campbell Soup kids would be there, and they'd have, you know how like if you go to a baseball game, sometimes they'll have like towel day, and they give you a little towel, or they give you a little baseball bat. They'd have it where you get Campbell Soup stuff. Like they used to sponsor stuff there all the time. It's just weird to me. This is weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
There are even Campbell Soup incognito safes, but I'm not surprised by this. I've seen other household cans as safes before.
And there's SpaghettiOs for you.
Weird.
And by the way, that SpaghettiOs can says Campbell's.
Yeah.
I'm saying that because in the chat, Noise Guru says SpaghettiOs are Chef Boyardee. Is that a Mandela
Ah.
effect for you? That's why I'm saying it.
So, as I
Next,
mentioned, Jeff saw a commercial for a product we have never seen before. Yes or no? Have you ever heard of Prego soup? Not the sauce, but actual soup like Progresso.
and Noise Guru is completely triggered. So it is a Mandela effect for Noise Guru that SpaghettiOs was made by Chef Boyardee. We'll show you the commercial, but there's not going to be any sound.
I agree with Noise Guru. We never have, but here's a commercial for the soup that is nowhere to be found on the internet. Even Google doesn't remember the soup ever existing. Do you remember this?
Noise Guru says that can is a lie. I will look for residue for tomorrow night's show, okay, guys? I will look for Chef Boyardee SpaghettiOs.
The only trace I found of these was this very generic review. And again, while searching for these Prego soups that do not exist anywhere else besides that commercial,
Sorry.
I saw other products by Prego that I've never seen before. Does anyone remember Prego Hearty Meals? Think Campbell's Chunky Soup, but Prego. Only spaghetti sauce for me. Or Prego Ready Meals. In 2020, Barilla released ready-made pasta, and that was the first time I had seen pre-cooked pasta in pouches. These are older with sauce. Yeah, they never made those before the ones we saw more recently.
Okay. No.
Jeff?
I read that already.
No, I just turn this.
It's probably the same words. I'm probably just showing you.
I read it
different-
already.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, sorry. All right.
Here we go. And last but not least, have you ever seen Prego pasta? All of these were sold in Walmart and Dollar General, possibly grocery stores, but I can only confirm those two stores. Never saw that.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but I never saw it. We also do not remember Prego Plus, do you? This commercial even features the Where's the Beef Wendy's lady, Clara Peller.
And a huge jar of Prego Plus. Just realize it. She made a career of them making fun of her for being small. That's great. Noise Guru says plot twist. The jar is normal size. That was good.
Yeah. Is any of this new for you? The Campbell's merch is blowing my mind. I should have seen these before, and Prego only made sauce in our past. What about yours?
And I'm going to tell you guys again, because there are new people here. If you find any of those cans of Prego, you send them to me, because I cannot find them anywhere. They have been wiped off the face of this reality, except for that commercial. That's where I got that picture from, was that commercial. What's next on the docket?
All right. Here we go.
Same Ragami, same.
I guess you read, Sandy, but this is Jeff, so I'm not sure. Okay.
Oh, he can read this. He hasn't presented this one in a while.
Sure. Okay.
It was supposed to be for Brian Stabley, but he didn't do it.
Credit Jeff Zanzibar. There was a change that was found by Spaced Out Productions 4 years ago to the famous Seven Dwarfs or Dwarves.
That's an old ME. That's why I did it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Off to work we go became home from work we go. But something else has changed that I recently noticed. Please spell the blanks in the title of the song. Blank ho, blank ho.
You can say the word. They have to spell it.
Hi ho.
Spell hi, everyone.
H-I.
Oh, that Vogue is Cinderella, Snow White with the yellow sleeves, like I remember. It's just it's their take on the dress.
All right, we got some answers. H.I. for Ramsey. For I can't say that name.
Ryugami.
Ryugami. H.I.G.H. for Noise Guru.
No, no. Noise Guru is joking. I guarantee it.
It still counts. H.I. for preliminal. Or preliminal, as the case may be.
And I just want to mention the off to work and home from work. Apparently, in this reality, see, it was always off to work we go, even when they were headed home.
Yep.
It's curious, or your sound is on.
Sorry.
It's okay. Um, it's still off to work when they're headed to work. When they're headed home, that's where the change is. It's now home from work we go.
Right. They
I mean,
still say off to work, just not twice like we remember.
why wouldn't they say instead of home from work? Why wouldn't they say off to home we go? If
Right.
that was the case.
That would make more sense at least.
Yeah.
Hey. Sandy and I remember hi ho, H.I. I'd see it on books, pins, anything related to the song.
Exactly.
But now it's always been spelled H-E-I-G-H, ho. And sometimes isn't that the same thing? Oh, hi ho with a dash.
Yeah, the
You remember
dash.
it's spelled like this.
Is that even a real spelling for the word hi?
No. That's what makes it even weirder. I never saw that ever until this.
Yeah.
Same.
So weird.
Those dwarves need to learn how to spell.
That's just.
It's ridiculous
German.
looking.
That's possible.
It could be German,
But
except
then,
everything's in English. So
yeah, that's the
why?
problem with it. If it was like just a German version, fine. But it's everywhere. That's what it is now.
I would go so far as to call that it's a man's excuse to say that it's German,
Yeah.
because it's a throwback to the original stories, which came from Germany. So I guarantee that's the man's excuse.
Even if it is German, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be hi ho spelled that way.
No.
Hey guys, can I ask you a question? Do I sound robot-y at all? Has there been any problems with my sound tonight at all?
Nope.
It's Brian's computer. It's 100% Brian's computer.
All right, Jeff, are you up for more?
Oh wow.
All of your stuff is at the top because of Stavely.
Uh,
I did delete the ones that we had duplicates of, but
okay. Credit Jeff Sandsbar. Famous wrestler's name was different for a time for Jeff, and he wants to know if anyone remembers seeing his name like he did. Now, I remember Hulk Hogan had a different name than a differently spelled name at the same time as the current. In other words, he had two ring names at the same time, besides his real name, which we're not talking about. But it was spelled differently sometimes, from what I remember. Please fill in the last name of this wrestler, Hulk Hogan. So again, for me, for a time in the 80s, it was spelled two different ways simultaneously. It could be either or, and said that way as well. But then one of the spellings eventually disappeared. But I remembered it. So I've seen his name spelled two ways: Hogan, like it is now, but he also has a. I also have a strong memory of Hulk Hogan, Hulgan. Does anyone remember Hogan? Noise Guru does, but with an O. So here's the residue. And that was the way I saw it spelled more often from 85 to 89. And then after that, I only saw the current spelling. It was on the toys and everything, Hogan. And it's a 100% anchor memory. And I remember thinking it's weird. Why does he have two different spellings to his name? Which is, it's not even his real name. His real name's Terry Bollea. But still, he had two names that he went by for wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So I was curious to see if anybody remembered it, so I checked, and there it is. So that was confirmation for me that I didn't make it up. Because there it was, spelled exactly how I remembered it.
All right, I'll read them. Credit Curiouser. The spelling of a word has been Mandela for Curiouser, and she wants to know which way you remember it spelled.
Yeah, that's why I was waiting because it was yours. I thought you were just going to read it because it was yours. It's new.
Okay. Yeah, the blank in this sentence we will say. Please tell us in the chat if you remember the blank as one word, two words, or both ways. You must blank when driving in the snow.
And the blank is be careful.
Yeah,
You
be
must be
careful.
careful when driving in the snow. Is be careful one word, two words, or do you remember it both ways? You want us to slow down? You know what it is? They know it's a new one. Noise Guru says, be careful is one word.
Yay.
Ryu
I
Gaming says
remember.
both.
Both.
And Gauss666 says, be careful has always been two words. We have all three options in the chat.
Two
I mean, I
words
could
for
go with
me.
both, but I've never seen it like separate. It's always in one word.
Oh,
Even though it
slow.
can work as two words.
Yeah, he meant slow down, like, drive slow in the snow.
Gotcha.
Curious remembers be careful is one word, but it is only used as two words in this reality. Does anyone remember one word like she does?
Thank you, G House. I appreciate that. I hate saying people's names wrong.
All right. Yeah, these are two words. Yeah.
As far as I know, I never saw it as one word.
There we go. One word. Yeah, I've always seen it. One word.
You're about to see a lot of it.
A lot of residue. Good.
There's a lot. And for some reason, there's like 15 different artists who made songs or albums called Be Careful, and it's all one word. It's very strange.
Kind of like the word a lot. That was always one word for me. Jeff, I'm surprised you always agree with the same ones as me.
Usually.
I guess not this one. What
No, I
about a
never saw it
lot?
like that.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, because I was writing be careful and I Google corrected me. I'm like, what? Yeah, sure. And then online it's all two words and there's a lot of residue apparently. So, all right, great.
So I wouldn't even read it like that. I would read it as like Beckerful or something.
Mm-hmm. All right, Sandy, you can read this one next finally. And
Okay.
that looks interesting. Great.
I'm just waiting for it to get on my screen. There is a video clip in this, but it has no sound on purpose, so you don't have to worry about that. So credit myself and Jose Martinez, Sagar Mandela Effect. Lately, I've been finding the weirdest Mandela effects that are nearly or completely impossible to prove, with residue that should be residue being.
Hi, Teresa.
Where's
Good night.
Teresa? Oh, good night, Teresa.
Good night, Teresa.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I don't even know what I was writing there because nothing exists. That's not right. Anyway, residue's hard to find. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And this is one of those Mandela effects.
All right. Wow.
I think sometimes when I'm typing, it'll select the sentence and write over it. I think that's what it did. My stylus tips are starting to go bad, and that's what they do. All right. If you are familiar with this, please chime in. Are you familiar with the vacuum bowling ball feather gravity experiment, which is a mouthful in itself? If you are, I have two questions. The first question is yes or no. Do they land at the same time? The feather and the bowling ball are dropped in a vacuum chamber. Do they land at the same time? Yes or no? Noise Guru says yes. I agree, G House. Residue is harder to come by. No one else knows this experiment? Oh, in a vacuum, yes, says Noise Guru. Curious or Jeff, have you ever seen this experiment?
Never heard of it.
No.
Okay.
If I did, I forgot.
Well, this is definitely in a vacuum. G House says, I don't know, but I'll guess yes. I'll say yes. They should, says Ramsey. Okay, question 2. DD74 is saying yes, I think. Waiting for it to come up. The second question comes from Jose Martinez. I don't know why it's there twice, but it is. Just go with it. Do you remember a single feather or multiple feathers in the experiment? So again, if you saw this, if you've heard of this, they do teach it in science class in grade school, but you could have forgotten about it. So single feather for Ramsey. The experiment I'm referring to takes place in the largest vacuum chamber in the world. So it's definitely under vacuum conditions that I'm speaking of. A chamber. Yep. On the moon. One says DD74. Okay, we can go on. We both remember a single white feather. It was about the same size as the bowling ball. That's important, by the way. Not twice as long like they are now. Both the feather and the ball hit the ground simultaneously in our past. Not anymore. We're going to show you. So first, here's a photo of the feather that is now a full-on feathered duster. See that? It was a single feather. The experiment was a single feather. I'm freaking out over this. But they also no longer touch the ground simultaneously, and that's an issue. Because that's a physics issue.
Oh.
No, it is a real bowling ball. Again, we're going to see the video. You'll see. But before we do, here's 2 screenshots I need to talk about. It's not on my screen yet. I'm still waiting. The experiment is shown in slow motion. Because of the longer feathers, because they're gigantic now, they no longer land at the same time. The feathers touch the ground and even fold a bit before the bowling ball reaches the ground. This is completely wrong for us. Does this match your memory? When the feathers touch, the ball is still a foot in the air or more. On the top image, you can clearly see the feathers are touching the ground, or the platform they have set up for it, and the ball is up in the air, not touching yet. And if I said, if you cut the feathers to the length that I remember the feather being, about the same size as the ball, they would land at the same time. Like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. This is not what I remember. All right.
Yeah, maybe the laws of physics have changed.
Or maybe the feathers are just too darn long. Yeah, they start at the exact same height.
Mm.
Oh, the feathers were hung higher. I'm sorry, the feathers were hung higher. You can see that they're higher up. So here is the slow motion fall in the vacuum chamber. But not high enough. They should have been hung higher, in my opinion. And they are falling at the same rate. So that's not what's changed. It's the actual video that's changed for me. They landed at the same time. And it was one feather, a smaller feather. Correct, G House. But the point is, the feather was not that long before. A PDS.
Well, the whole experiment has changed.
Yeah, the whole experiment has changed. It's full of feathers now. And believe it or not, there's residue. I actually found residue. So a feather in the vacuum chamber at the same time. You got to see it, but you can't now because there's no experiment with a feather anymore. It's now like a whole feather duster full of feathers. They're both £1. So here's all residue. See, look, even the bottom image, it's got the bowling ball with a feather, and then it shows the bowling ball with the ridiculous amount of feathers. That's just stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't even know about this, and I think it's stupid.
But do you see how all the residue shows the feather about the same size as the bowling ball, not 3 times the
Yeah.
length?
Right.
That's ridiculous. That's a definite change for sure.
So stupid.
Yep. Sometimes you don't even have to
Yeah.
know them to know.
You don't like
Yeah.
this reality, you can leave. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so to be clear, I'm not saying the laws of physics are changing. I'm saying the
Okay.
feathers were
Yeah,
changed.
the
The feathers are
experiment.
wrong.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. But who knows, you know? Maybe they are changing or
Freaked
changed.
me out too, Jose. Freaked me out. Jose's here, by the way.
Hey, Jose.
Hi. I think the laws of physics have changed. Well, they always are changing, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's weird.
Thanks,
All right,
Ramsey.
this is the big folder, and I'm hoping you guys share my memory because this is freaking me out even more. All right, who's reading? It's long. It's a long one.
I can read. I don't know. Do you read, Sandy? You haven't read them.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, there's a specific type of general store that was very popular in the United States and in other places around the world, but I'm from the US, so I know for a fact they were popular in the United States through the 1980s. You can still find some of these today, but they are very rare compared to the olden days. It is a feather duster. It looks like a feather duster. Not on screen yet. There we go. The one thing the stores all had in common was the inclusion of monetary values in their name. Similar to today's dollar stores, some examples are, it shouldn't say Hots, it should say Hoys. That's a typo. Kresge's, Newberry's, McCrory's, and Crest. Also, Woolworth's was originally one of these stores. What were these type of stores called? And I'm gonna give you a hint. If I don't get any answers related to what I'm talking about, I'm gonna give you a hint on the next slide. Actually, just go to the next slide because we're already not getting anything
Drugstore.
here. No, not drugstore. I'm looking for monetary. So, for example, when it comes on my screen, there we go. Noise Guru says 5 and dime. This was hard to ask, so here's a hint in case the audience needs it. These stores were frequently called blank and blank stores or the blank and blank. So we have Noise Guru with the 5 and dime. Preliminal says dime stores. Ramsey Haber says 5 and dime. DD74 says 5 and dime. Does anyone know it is anything slightly different? Because I also know it is something different. That's why I have 2 options there. I'm going to just tell you then. I also knew it as the 5 and 10. So 5 and dime or 5 and 10. Those are the two ways I knew the stores because I've seen 5 and 10 cents written on the building. In my past, these were called 5 and dimes, and written on the store with was 5 and 10 cent store. For example, Kresge's 5 and 10, Crest's 5 and dime, and McCrory's 5 and 10 cent store. Here's Hoy's. That's what it autocorrected to Hots. This is the one I've shopped at in Stone Harbor, New Jersey. It was never anything other than 5 and 10 cents. Now here's the question, everyone. Do you remember it only being 5 and 10 cents written on these stores? Yes or no? Do you remember anything else besides 5 and dime or 5 and 10? I'm talking about back in the day, not now. Like we have dollar stores now,
No.
you know? In this reality, 5 and dime still exists, but there are two other types of these stores that never existed in my past. And actually, there's 3. So we're going to get to it. I want you all to read the top of that. S.H. Cress and Company 5, 10, 25 cent store. Does anyone remember ever seeing 5, 10, 25 cents? In the chat, yes or no? 5, 10, 25 cents. Anyone ever remember the 25 cents? And they're using dots instead of dashes. That's weird. I have to read this stuff. In the 1910s, many of these stores started adding 25 cents to the storefront. 25 cents in 1910 was so much money. Do you remember 5, 10, and 25 cent stores? These never existed in my past, especially not since the 1910s. No, not 70s inflation, noise guru. And it's going to get worse from here, guys. It's not better from here.
Don't say that.
No, not the inflation, the presentations.
Oh, okay.
But even crazier was something Kresge's did in this timeline. Kresge's had stuck with the 5 and 10. This is not true. I'm going to have to do an update, but you'll see. Instead of adding 25 cents to their storefront, they decided to make a new store entirely. So next slide. They had red and green stores. The red stores were traditional 5 and 10s, and the green stores were 25 cents to $1 in 1921. Do you guys recall 25 cent to $1 stores ever existing? In 1921 at that.
No.
And they were usually built next door to one another. You'd have the 5 and 10 on one side and the 25 cent to $1 store on the other. It's hard to see because of the lamppost, but it says 25 cents to $1. But here you go. Here's an ad too, which I can't read yet. Shop Kresge's first at 715 Hamilton Street. Kresge, 25 cents to $1 store. There were never any 25 cent, let alone dollar stores like this in my past, especially not in 1921. Is this new for you too?
What's that to $25?
My gosh, they probably made $25 a week in 1921.
No.
So update. Remember how I said they kept the 5 and dime model? No, they didn't. And correction. Woolworths was the most known 5 and 10 store. That's why I added it in the beginning. By the time I was born, they were just Woolworths, officially Woolworth in this reality. But I am finding more and more stores that say Woolworths now. But there's also a reality where it was just Woolworth, no S, which I previously covered. However,
that is so unappealing. Can you imagine having stores $1 to $500?
$1 to
Around?
$500, you mean
Yeah,
now?
just like,
Yeah, no way.
like, oh God.
It's already unappealing to see like Five Below go Five Beyond with $10, $12.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So also Kresge's, if I can see it. Any day. There we go. Did in fact change their stores to 5, 10, and 25 cents. But I do not know if they changed the stores before or after creating the 25-cent to $1 store. But that's not all. Like I said, it gets worse. They also had, when it comes on my screen, 25, 50-cent and $1 stores. So the green one went from 25 to $1 to 25, 50 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, which is the same as 25 cents to $1. So I don't know why they did that. But now you see something new. 5, 10, 15 cents. So the red store that was a 5 and dime became 5, 10, 15 cents. I've never seen, has anyone ever seen a 5 and dime and 15-cent store? Or a 25 cent, 50 cent, $1 store? Because this was written on their storefront. I've never seen this before. So here's some pictures so you can see the signage. The 15 cents, the 25 cents. Written right on the store. I've never seen this before. It's always just been a 5 and dime. And it's all different brands. Ralph's, Mott's, Gilbert, Dooley's, Northville. There's a close-up of the 25 cents to $1 on the storefront on the top right, if you can zoom in. You see it, Curiouser?
On the top
Right. Mm-hmm. Right on the front, 25 cents to $1. I've never seen that on a 5 and dime store before.
No.
And I want to point out the bottom right, the one on the very bottom, already says 5, 10, 15 cents. And look, they have horse and carriages. It's
Still
not even
horse
cars.
and buggy. Oh my God, that must be in the 1800s.
Yeah, and they have 15 cents on the sign. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh.
Never.
Oh my God.
It was just 5 and dime. It was just 5 and dime in my reality.
Well, that
Nothing
was
else.
an expensive store there. Huh. Yeah, 5 and dime.
So here's another one, McRory's and Crest's. And I'm showing you Crest because on the next slide, I'm going to have a close-up of that logo. It's all merged. And someone painted it that way.
I used to go to McCrory's, and it was never that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And the R is also broken.
And that was a lot of money back then. There's just no way.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Jose, do you truly remember Macy's with 2 C's? That'd be Mackey's, wouldn't it?
Mackey's, yeah.
Or Italian, Macy's. Oh, look, if you really do. So here's a residue of crest not being merged and looking like it should for that time period. And here's some residue of just 5 and dime, the way it should be. Although, I think I've highlighted some things where lines are missing in the cent symbol. So you might see a little bit of red mixed in here. Also, inappropriate periods, again, showed up. Preliminal says never seen that either. G House says some of these MEs are about to make me act like a fool. Or act a fool. And Jose said, G House, join the club of crazies. We're all losing our mind over this. There's a red bar flag for everyone. I love how it said the oldest 5 of dime store, but then it has 5, 10, 25 cents underneath. So here you go again, 10, 15 cent store, inappropriate period at the end of store. It's a 5, 10, 15 cent store, and those are old clothes, people. Please tell me I'm not the only one who remembers these stores solely being 5 and 10 stores until dollar stores began showing up in the 80s or 90s. Is any of this new for you too? Because it's all new for me.
I think this reality's more expensive altogether.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We see it very often. Mandela Effect's reflecting today's issues. And we're dealing with the worst inflation since the Great Depression right now. And yeah.
Yeah, you should probably look into the Great Depression and see if that's changed.
I already have a Mandela Effect from that, but there might be more.
It'll change to a picture of what's going on now.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Preliminal says, for me, it was just dime stores, no 5 in it. I believe you. DD74 says 5, 10, $1, 5, $5, $50. Like Curious said, up to 500. Oh, you misspelled it. Okay, good. That's good. That was the last new one. I don't know if you're going to do any more.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to call it a night. I think I covered, the most of them.
Yeah, you got a decent amount done.
Yeah.
I do want to say to everyone, Jeff and I have a show tomorrow night on Brian McFarlane, and we may, depending on how exhausted we are, do another show Saturday night on my channel, and then we'll be on Hebrews channel Sunday night. So we have a busy weekend, like I said. Very, very busy weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The Saturday night one's going to be a really late one too.
Yeah, so and Curiouser may join us, right, Curiouser?
I'll see what I'm not guaranteeing anything, but yeah, it sounds good.
Okay, good.
All right, everyone, we're gonna say goodnight.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for being here. It was good to see everybody. Thank you for participating.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. We'll see you next show.